Like,
Yeah,
how did you deal with the nerves, to even step into the
yeah.
ring?
I was just thinking like how many times I sparred, all the preparation for the fight. I was just ready to go.
Okay. So and that's
Yeah,
important because, you
yeah,
hear a lot of fighters talk about, after they sit down or even when they get into the ring or after they sit down
yeah,
after the first round, some of the things that go through their mind if they are uh in the champion mindset and in the mind they're listening to their coaches or their trainers and they're
yeah.
able to focus. But if they're in the mindset that, oh shit, I might lose this. A lot of those guys start thinking about what they didn't do in training or what they need to do in training, and it's too late at that point, wouldn't you say?
It's too late,
It's too
and
late.
to be a boxer, I feel like your mental toughness has to be there because it's a lot mental in this game, and you can people lose fights before they even fight.
Oh yeah.
But being in a locker room before the fight it can be very stressful. It can be intimidating, and it's hard. You have to be very strong-willed, strong-minded.
Now, you had 13 pro fights before your first loss. I think you
Yeah,
fought Kevin Engel
Kevin Angle. Yep.
in your first loss. Tell me about that.
It was hard, man, because I felt like the whole time afterwards I should have won that fight. I could have won that fight. He caught me with a shot, busted my nose. The first punch of the fight, he caught me with, shattered my like, whole face, kind of. The blood was just pouring out. And I was just thinking in my head, like, I gotta knock this kid out now. So I was taking chances, like, I was really just winging him. And he caught me and then he knocked me out.
Wow. So
It was like,
what round did he knock you out in?
it was the second round.
Second round. So in the first round, he cracks you, split you
Yeah.
open, and not once did you think about, damn, I'm going to lose this fight. You're thinking, I got
No.
to find a way to win.
I was just thinking, I gotta knock him out now because they're gonna stop this thing because the blood was coming out crazy.
Yeah.
And I was really just swinging away, swinging for the fences. Like I wasn't fighting smart at all. And he caught me. I went to
So,
a knee, and I got up, and then he got me out of there.
huh. So your next fight after that was Dafir Smith. I was there at this fight. I
Yeah,
believe I believe this was at the Harris in Chester.
he
Now,
was in there.
I remember hearing about Dafir coming up, and I remember seeing him, and he's pretty quick. Not a lot of
Yeah,
power, but pretty quick, and he's been in there with some really top guys. Now I'm
yeah.
thinking when I first saw you, I think this is the first time I actually saw you in the ring, and when you stepped into the ring, and I'm looking at Dafir, and I'm like, I don't know. I think Dafir is gonna box his head off. And then from the first round,
Yeah.
you had him from rope to rope, like he was just trying to find a way to get back to boxing, and you were just pummeling him
Yeah.
from rope to rope to rope. That was beautiful.
Yeah. So that was the game plan. It was like, don't let him breathe.
Yeah.
And when I realized like he couldn't hurt me, I just kept. I tried to stay on top of him and just chop him down.
Huh. Now
But I didn't want to take a step backwards that fight.
I saw that that fight was you won by majority decision, but in
Yeah.
everybody out there, man, that was a unanimous decision. Everybody
Yeah.
except the judges may not have agreed, but everybody out there watching agreed. Now, before you decided to fight Dafir, knowing his background, knowing that he's been in there with
Yeah.
some top guys, what was the mindset getting ready for that?
It was like I lost this last fight. I got to beat somebody with like a name now. I got to go after anybody. And it was just my main focus was just to win. That's all I cared about.
That's a straight warrior, brother.
Yeah, just get in there with anybody, and whoever it is, just beat them.
Now, getting in after, I know it was another notable win that you had that was an amazing accomplishment, and it was a fight that a lot of people said could have went either way. Was you versus Anthony Ferranti?
Yeah, and Tony.
Yeah, so the two Tonys.
Yeah.
So yeah, tell me about that one. Like going into that fight, knowing that everybody's trying to back this kid up, and
yeah.
everybody's talking about him. How'd you feel
Uh,
going into that?
Well, that was another one. Like I looked real bad out in Vegas. I was at a pay-per-view fight. I looked real bad. It was embarrassing for me. And then like I'm gonna fight this guy Tony Ferrante who just knocked out like one of the top cruiserweights in the world, but he was like he tested positive for steroids or something, so they took it away from him.
Hmm.
But I was like, fuck this kid. So I'm sorry for my language, but I was like, who cares about him? I'm not scared of his power. All I heard about the whole time I was training for him was his power, this guy's power, how dangerous he is. I was getting so sick of it, man. I didn't care. Like, and I was going to do the same thing because I knew he would get lazy in there. He would get lazy, so I'm like, I want to stay on top of him and just go after him.
Now, I know you went on to fight B.J. Flores, Garrett Wilson,
Yeah,
Travis
yeah,
Reeves. Uh, I know when you came to my gym, you came to me and you said, you know what? And I thought you were retired. You said, you know what?
yeah,
I want to give it another go around. Says,
yeah,
I want to fight local, a couple fights, and then I want to see if I can get a big one. And
yeah.
I looked at you and I was like, I don't know, like when you start sparring, your sparring is a little different. To hear the complete podcast, please click on the link in the description, and please don't forget to subscribe.